committee, but, and that, we may not even go to full committee. Again, that's the will of this subcommittee that's up here this afternoon working on it. We've had everyone involved. Every one of the subcommittee members have been involved in the bill. And so we spent a lot of time and effort in it. So, Mr. Hogan, we're going to ask you, if you would, to go through what we've tried to do to clean the bill up, to make it more amenable to both parties, both sides of this discussion, and see where we go from here.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Afternoon, Senators. Mr. Chairman, if I may, before I get to the bill itself, let me explain a little bit about the way your package is laid out in front of you. On the left-hand side, you'll see three documents. The first is a fiscal impact. I don't believe that's been introduced into the proceedings to this point. It is a zero fiscal impact. Of course, that is based upon the bill that's filed. If the bill is altered, we will resubmit that to Fiscal Affairs Office and get them to update that. The second document you'll see is a summary that's based upon the proposed amended language, which is the final and the largest document that you'll see on the left-hand side of your package. Over on the right-hand side, there are some supporting documents that we will get to as we walk through the bill and walk through the proposed amended language. We will point out the relevant documents there. But if you'll look at the bill with the proposed amended language in it, I will walk through that and explain each of the shaded areas as we come to them, and what the changes that represents to the bill. First of all, in section 1, there would be a new preamble or findings section, and it basically is just a statement of the public policy need and the fact that this is a public health issue. It deals with the health of animals, but it is in the broader sense of public health.
Mr. Hogan, would you read that so everyone will know what the findings are? Read it.
Yes, sir. I'll be happy to. The General Assembly finds that the proper care, treatment, and maintenance of pets is characteristic of a humane and beneficent society and is crucial to protecting public health. Furthermore, it is a matter of public policy that the laws of this state should encourage the development and maintenance of adequate pet care resources accessible to all pet owners in the state. As pets require veterinary health services, particularly as it relates to controlling the pet population and basic public health protection services, the General Assembly finds that all practitioners of veterinary medicine, as well as the facilities in which their services are offered to the public, should reflect the highest practical and ethical standards of veterinary health care. Now, moving on down to bottom of the page, still in section 1, this is the mileage restriction. As you recall, when the bill is originally filed, there was a 7-mile radius created that the mobile units could not penetrate. It was a 7-mile radius, a bubble around typical veterinary practices. This language would be changed to incorporate a platform that actually appears in Title 12 of the Code of Laws. This is a tiering of the 46 counties based upon an economic index. It was prepared for job creation, economic development. Tier 1 are the lowest unemployment and per capita income, and then as we come down to 2, 3, and 4, it falls below that level. So what this language would do would be to take the Tier 1 and 2 counties, which have the more desirable economic statistics, and put a 1-mile radius restriction around traditional veterinary practices. And then in the Tier 3 and 4 counties, it would put a 2-mile restriction on the passage of mobile units.
You're taking this from 7 miles down to these.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That is correct. Now, as we move on to the...
Yes, sir, please.
Gene, what would this apply to? And I'm looking at Section B, and it talks, obviously talking about public or private nonprofit animal shelters shall be prohibited. What about, would this cover, could a for-profit veterinary practice go into the mobile veterinary practice business and open up across the street from a, I guess, a permanent practice, if you want to call it that?
My understanding is we wouldn't have any restrictions on a for-profit operation. This is dealing with nonprofit. The amended language was somewhat changed with the insertion of public or, so that it reads public or private nonprofit. But I think nonprofit is the defining.
And I know that was what got this thing started. I know that was one of the issues that got us looking at this statute or this proposal. But was there any consideration given? I just don't know. I wasn't there if we talked about it. Has there been any is that intentional? I mean, are we, as a matter of policy, wanting to allow for-profit veterinary practices to be able to operate mobile practices in direct competition with other in using this mobile model?
As the discussions unfolded, Senator, I don't believe we've
Never really come up.
we've encountered that. Yes, sir.
It's not come up. I know that there are probably some areas in these developed counties, such as Charleston, Greenville, Lexington, or whatever, you might even have two veterinarians within a mile of each other, two clinics within a mile of each other, but they would be brick and mortar.
I mean, I know we've got that in our community, but
yeah,
as far as
that would be brick and mortar. You're talking about mobile.
I'm just wondering if we're leaving a loophole available for someone to take advantage of when it's clear that what we're trying to do is deal with these mobile units that can set up right across the street from a existing plant.
That's a good point for discussion. I'll ask any other committee members if they would like to address that. I certainly would be amenable to having it any mobile clinic, but we can certainly look mobile, but you can certainly set up a brick and mortar business near each other. So, will the committee, we leave it like it is, and we can move forward.
And quite honestly, I would have had an amendment ready if I'd thought about it ahead of time. I just noticed it as we were going over it today. I would have had some language. I don't know. I guess the language being, could we include the for-profits as being restricted as well? It seems like it's good for the goose, good for the gander on this. That's in section B, page 2, at the beginning of section B. Really